That was weird.
The hell did you do?
No idea. My browser,
Okay.
the browser crashed and came up with that. Oh, snap!
Oh, could have just reconnected to the old link, probably.
Well, you can, but then the live doesn't record again. The
No,
live is a one
Oh,
shot.
I didn't even notice that was that we were off air.
So you have to. I
well,
have to recreate the link to get live. Sadly.
I'm not going over all that stuff over again. But anyway, so
Well, I'll try to edit it. I'll try to edit them together. Is what I'll do.
we and Dave were talking about the instability of my z-axis, the bounce, and I had talked about before changing my V wheels to the Open Builders Super Hard. I guess they're acrylic or polycarbonate. They're not Dermlin or whatever it's called.
No.
They're Delrin. Thank you.
All right, you're going to have to
They're
make
not
some
made of
adjustments.
they're made of huh?
You're going to have to make adjustments. The standard V wheel that Inventable sells is 7.5 millimeters wide. All right, those wheels with a the double V are 10.23 millimeters wide. So you'll have to adjust the shims on them to get them to fit.
They're wider, not.
The diameter
They're
appears
wider.
to be the diameter appears to be pretty close to the same.
Okay, that's fine.
And the ID for the bearings is it's supposed to be 15.95, where you're supposed to be running.
Right.
The bearings that you get are supposed to be 16s, but they run 15.998 to 99.
Well, I'm getting rid of
But the
all
width.
I'm gonna get rid of all the Inventables. All of those Delrin wheels that came from Inventables for the Z-axis, I'm getting rid of all of that.
Yeah, well,
it'll be all Open Builders wheels.
right, and you'll get
on my
their wheel kits. Their wheel kits come with two bearings, two spacer washers, and the rim.
And a
And
bolt
so,
too, bolt and a line too.
yeah,
I
they may
think.
come with a bolt and you know, but for not a bad price. I think they're like
No.
$4.95 or $5.95 a pop or something like that.
They're
So
$6 and change to hit. They're
are they
$6 and
$6 a
change
buck?
each.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
expensive. They're pricey.
Yeah, they're not
quite
real
as
cheap.
not quite
No,
as
they aren't
expensive as the metal
pricey.
ones, but so I
Yeah.
just uploaded 2 pictures from the latest model.
Yeah,
So
that thing
yeah,
looks pretty good.
and you can use up to 8 wheels on that inside.
That thing looks crazy. Yeah, Eve's
The
added extra
difficulty-
wheels just to. He
Placate
did that for me.
you.
I think. 'Cause I'm always complaining about wanting more wheels.
Yo,
What's
dog,
that?
I heard you like V-wheels.
What's that?
Yeah.
What did you say, Dave?
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Sorry,
gonna
homie.
play hell adjusting 8 wheels to get them all the same tension with them on the inside. Sorry, I don't like the wheels on the inside. I think you would be better. It would have been better off putting the wheels in the outside. That's just my personal opinion.
Well,
You know.
yeah,
You gotta cover them or something.
yeah. Then they got to be covered. This way, they're all kind of isolated and nice.
Well,
And let me play devil's advocate for just a half second. You know, they're covered from the front, but there's not anything covering them on the reverse. That's a correct
right.
statement. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so dust will still get in there, but it's not going to have
absolutely.
the crazy direct chip feed from everything else.
well, but
so,
cleaning them is going to be a bear too.
What is?
Cleaning them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna build it. I think I'm gonna build it first and see how it goes. It would be easy to add some accordion material on the top and bottom too. I think that would be interesting
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
to see. Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
there's a whole bunch of stuff that one can do.
Yeah,
It
if
all
you could
depends
make
on how much
it now,
money you want to throw at it.
yeah. I think
You
I
know.
think it's definitely better than what comes with it. Absolutely, 100% for sure.
oh gosh, yeah.
But again, I'm sure that there'll be quirks with this too. And until we build it and we start running it through its paces and actually driving the thing around, we won't know. So.
Yeah, that's the whole point of trying to build. I'm going to build one and see how it goes. And
the whole benefit of this is that if you put the tall wide end plates on your y-axis, and then the taller end plates on the gantry, you can utilize that extra height using a Z setup. In this
Mm-hmm.
in this mode,
Right.
it's a crazy amount of height extra that you get with both taller end plates on Y and the bigger end plates on X. The amount of height plus this, you get a lot of height.
And you can with this you can use that height.
Yeah. What was that, Andrew?
You're getting what, like 6 inches?
Yeah, something like that. That's and one of the things Tyler wants to be able to do is to machine AR-15 upper and lowers, and you're going to need about 5 or 6 inches of clearance to do that. From the models I looked at, about 4.5 inches is the size of the block you'd use for a lower anyway. So a little cushion on top of that would be nice. So this with the end plates, in theory, it would be you'd have enough Z clearance to do it. Rigidity is another issue, but I think it's all doable.
You're going to increase the thickness of the Y end plates. That's already been done. They've increased it to a quarter of an inch.
Nope, 3/8 on the ones we're having milled.
Okay, well that's even better. All right. And B, the gantry end plates, you're increasing the thickness of those.
Yep, close to 3/8. Yep.
So, and then with enough mid-span supports under the y-axis rails to support them for the extra weight and the so they don't want to do this on you.
Yep.
And the stiffening. Oh darn it! Mod to the gantry. You'll be able to utilize that extra height. You can stick your mill down and with the right.
We haven't looked at dust collection on this whole system. That'll be another issue too. But
would it be more
just use
advantageous?
dustless material.
What was that, Andrew?
Yeah. I said I was going to say, would it be advantageous to only increase your height, your Z height, on, let's say, so instead of doing the tall wide, so do like XL tall wide, so do like a 6-inch height increase plate on the 4 feet, instead of doing 3 inches here and then 3 inches on X. I mean, is there an advantage of doing it in both places, and then giving your extra Z on the gantry,
I think you gain rigidity by doing it both places rather than
I would agree.
Any one.
I would agree.
Your rigidity overall is going to be a little higher if you 4 inches here and 4 inches there versus 8 inches on one axis.
That was my question.
Yeah.
That was my question. Would it be more wobbly if we just go up one place?
Yeah.
Or is it better? Yeah, that answers that question. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the x-axis end plates will take open beam or whatever they call not their C-beam, but their normal beam. It will take that or the maker slide, and so the holes are in there now for either. So
Will it
Their
still
normal
take
beam.
the inventable carriage,
If you're using the maker slide, yeah.
but not if you use the open?
I think you would have to. I'm not. I think you'd have to do some extra. That would be another good piece of kit, is to try to figure out, okay, if we do that, what would a person need to do to use that center carriage too? Because if we could figure that out, that would be awesome.
Well, they've got that V-track, the add-on V-track stuff.
Yep. I just don't know the width of the open beam. You know, if how all that works out. You know,
Well,
is the width close?
Right. I think it is really close, but my question is, because there's that 4.5 millimeter gap in between those two pieces of 2040 that make up the X. If you're removing that and making it a solid piece of 4040, right? So does that the V-track add-ons on either side?
Somebody was
Does that
just showing pictures of doing that on the forum today. I can't remember who it was, but somebody posted his, and that's exactly what he did. He took out the maker slide, put in a 4040, and put the open build rails on it, and he mentioned that he had to increase the shimming on one side to accommodate the reduction in width of the gantry.
Yeah.
I posted the link in there.
Oh yeah. And it's one of those things where all of these products are really freaking similar. You know, it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was little to no modification that has to be done to make this work, with the exception of maybe getting some different shim sizes. You know,
I think you're right on that. Yeah, I think you're exactly right on that. That may be something else that I'll have to try too. So take a. Oh, go ahead. Just different what?
I was going to say all we really need to do is get some measurements and figure out where the tips of the V wheels are now versus where the tips of the V wheels are going to be, you know, instead of using 2020 and blah, right?
Yeah.
So it may be a millimeter off.
You know,
that's
it'd be
easily
nice.
fixed with a gem.
You know, it'd be nice as in Fusion when you're modeling this stuff. If you go to say to create a joint and put two pieces together, if they were off by a millimeter or whatever, it would say, you know, that you need to increase this dimension by 1 millimeter. You know, some way to see physically how off it was. Take a look at that link. I had a question for you. Maybe Dave or maybe one of you guys know, but the third picture.
Is that the shaft that runs across?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. What?
Hold on.
I have no.
Well, that's a timing shaft.
For what?
For his 2Y ends. All right.
He's got two stepper motors.
All right, but the way Inventables has put their y-axis stepper motors together on one driver, there's nothing that keeps them in sync. All right. One can lose steps in relationship to the other one, and cause things to go out of sync with the other stepper motor. What he's done here is he's put a solid shaft across with 2 extra pulleys and 2 extra flat idlers, so that the 2 stepper motors cannot get out of sync. And there's he's put bearings on the outboard side of the plate and everything else, so that and he went from a G2 to a GT2 to a GT3. If you look at his pulleys, you can see the increase in the pulley. They're belting. It's not a 2, it's a 3. and so it actually makes a lot of sense.
I was
It seems like
stumped.
he should disconnect one of the motors, though.
Why? Why, Tony?
Well, because they both can't be in sync, so you potentially have one fighting the other with that shaft in there.
No, they won't lose steps in relationship to each other this way.
It locks them into sync as far as steps are concerned.
Yeah.
I see.
So you can still drive both. Ultimately, it's better if you could go with a 4-axis driver setup and drive one Y with one stepper driver and the other Y with another stepper driver. This also accomplishes that.
Huh. Yeah, it's a clever bit of design. I had no idea what it was for. Eves and I were looking at it earlier going, he didn't even notice it, and I had no idea. That's clever. Okay. Welcome, Tyler. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I just got home.
Nice.
The link changed because the original broadcast, my browser crashed, and in order to keep the live broadcast going, I got to create another link. So.
Okay.
Cool. So how are you doing on yours? You should be knee deep in assembly.
I built a table for it today.
Really? You know what they say? Pictures or it didn't happen.
That's right.
Oh, I got. Sorry.
You build a torsion box? Or?
I just don't know where my phone went. They had pictures around there.
Yeah.
Call it.
I'll be right back.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think he got all the stuff he needed on Friday, so he was dedicating Saturday for an assembly day. So.
Yeah, I remember the post that he posted.
Yeah, I do finally have everything.
Nice.
Awesome.
So did you do a torsion box? You do a torsion box table?
I just did basically the stock Inventables stuff.
No. You said you built a table for it.
Oh, the table? Here, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go find my phone. I got pictures.
John, call him on your cell phone so his phone will ring.
Yeah, that's funny. I should do that. Yeah. Oh, what else are we working on? The other thing. The other thing with the end plates that we'll be doing is offering. I think it's called XL belt. Is that it, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want XL.
Why?
Wider inch or the half-inch belt.
XL belt has too much backlash. You want to stay with the GT belting.
Really? There's so much stretch in the GT though. The XL belt seems like it doesn't stretch as much.
Well, if you can find a source for it would be better. The ultimate would be GT3 with Kevlar tension bands versus fiberglass tension bands. All right. One of the guys on the forum and I were, we were talking about. People were saying, well, when I set my steps at 40 in Gerbil or whatever it is, that when it moves, it doesn't move the right amount, and they had to, increase it from 40 to 40.5739218884 or something like that. And I got to thinking, the reason for that, all right, that 6 millimeter wide G2 belting, where you're putting it on a fixed, you're fixing one end and then you're pulling it tight on the other end. And basically what you're doing is you're stretching it.
Yeah, you're stretching
right?
Yep,
you're stretching it, and when you do that, it goes from being a 2 millimeter pitch to a 2.001. All right.
Right.
And when you add that all up over
You're off. You're off
a distance,
yeah,
you're off by some amount in your steps per inch, and that's why people are seeing, oblong holes and funny squares and everything else is because they're taking those 2 Y belts and stretching the crap out of them and basically changing the pitch of the belt. So if you could find some GT3 9 millimeter wide Kevlar reinforced or steel reinforced belting, it would be more expensive, but it would also not have the stretch that this 6 millimeter GT2 does. So that's but don't go to the
all right.
XML belting, because if you look at the tooth profile on it and the tooth profile on the sprockets, you can have backlash.
Okay.
That's one other thing about the GT profile. It's round, and it fits into a round slot in the sprocket, and with zero clearance. So you don't have the backlash issue that the other belting will give you.
Well, I will note that. Yeah, there's it was the XL I think we were looking at. Yeah, I think that's what we were looking at.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that much more money, a little bit, but it wasn't terribly expensive.
Yeah.
But not the MXL either. You said, right?
No. Any of those XLs, if you look at the profile on them, they're a what's the word I want? Well,
trapezoidal.
Thank you. Yeah, they're a trapezoidal. They're not, and they've got a little bit of play in there between the belt toothing and the sprocket pockets. So you can wind up with some backlash.
Back to the drawing board, boys.
Well,
Board.
It's an easy. We just had a little bill of materials done, and none of us had bought anything yet. But I'll look. It's tough to find it Kevlar reinforced. A lot of people, you see a lot of it is fiberglass, but
yeah, I had a hard time finding. I looked for Kevlar for mine too, but I was in a time crunch, so I was like, well, gotta have it, and I gotta have it ASAP. So I just got the fiberglass stuff, and if I'm able to find Kevlar GT, then I'll go with that. But and it may be good to, since we've got this pool of knowledge, John, for you to what you and Eves are doing or what we're doing or whatever, be able to offer these options and say this is why this is better.
Yes. Yep. I think that's yes.
Yeah. So you could buy the kit from Inventables if you want, or you can buy some of the kit from Inventables and say, all right, well, you've bought 80%, here's your other 20% to make your machine that much better, and here's the cost differential, and what you're in the savings and so on and so forth.
Well, at least it gives people an option, rather than, I mean, they are welcome to do whatever they want on their own, but I think if we can offer something for them based on what our experiences have been, I think there's some value in that.
We also have to remember that I suspect, it is my suspicion, that the greater majority of the people buying x-carves have never been exposed to CNC machining.
Agree.
All right?
Absolutely.
This is their first entry into CNC machining.
Yep.
All right, and
100%.
the X-carve fits the bill for the first timer. It's not very expensive. It's easy to repair. It's easy to modify.
Yeah.
And it'll do the job out of the box, put together.
Oh yeah.
Reasonably.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, well.
if it's like us where we want to hold 1/10,000th of an inch tolerance, well, we got a little work to do. But
it can do it.
Yeah,
You're 100%
but if you can live with the 3,000 tolerance, and you're working in wood and plastic, and maybe a little aluminum once in a while, you know, it's a perfect machine for the newbie.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said on a post, I says, you know, start out with a stock machine. Learn the ins and outs of CNC machine.
Couldn't agree
Make
more.
your mistakes. If you let the magic smoke out, it doesn't cost you a whole hell of a lot to replace the component that's smoked. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The setup, if you run it into a hard stop, you know, the stepper motors just lose steps. They don't destroy anything.
Right.
You know, if you're careful with your feeds and speeds and everything else, and you don't use 1/32 inch end mills in walnut, you won't break that many end mills. Yeah, you're going to break one. I mean, I'll guarantee. Even with my 770, I break an end mill every once in a while, and I can trace it right back to something that I did wrong when I coded it. You know,
Yeah.
Well, like Tony the other day, you missed a speed setup on one of your operations and was only turning 1,000 RPM and broke an end mill. I've done that exact same thing. You know, I thought I set it at 10,000, and no, I had it at the default 1,000. And
well, I just snapped the 16th today because I forgot to set my 0.
Yeah.
So do any of us looked at using checklists?
Checklists.
I don't know. Too much work.
Too complicated.
Yeah. I thought about it, on the wall behind it or something. Just the basic stuff. Is it home? Just so that it's always there, because it's easy to get.
Well, one of the important things for new people to remember is, if you can, get a program where you can run a simulation. And you can plug your G-code into the simulator, and you can say go, and it does all the tool paths and everything else, and you can kind of proof out the G-code.
If nothing else, chili pepper's great for that.
Yeah. Okay. Then the second step.
If nothing else.
Yeah. Then the second step is to load the G-code in your machine and do an error cut. Do an error cut. All right. The third step is load it in your machine, put a piece of MDF down there. Don't put your expensive walnut that you want to make that sign out of. Put a piece of MDF and cut your sign or whatever you're making in MDF or machinable wax. And if all those checks come out good, take your good piece of walnut or your good piece of mahogany or whatever, your piece of acrylic, your piece of aluminum, whatever the final part is gonna be, and machine it. And so many people are using easel, generating the code, loading it into Universal G-code sender or whatever, Chili Pepper, whatever, putting their piece of walnut in there, putting their 1/8 end mill in with it sticking out as far as it'll go, and push and go, and ruining an end mill, ruining their work, and then saying, well, how come that happened?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've gotten. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and to your point, I've ruined more material doing that. That exactly what you said there. Well, not necessarily ruining the end mill, but definitely ruining the part for whatever reason. The hold downs weren't right or whatever. I've gotten to the point where I do a test cut. I've got cheap wood material, laminate stuff, whatever, that, I've got 1/4 inch, the same thickness as my acrylic. I've got the 1 inch stuff, the same thickness as the mahogany and all that other stuff. And that HTF or whatever, it's not MDF, it's the HTF, the fiberboard, whatever you want to call it. And I run test material on a regular basis. And if somebody's it's one of those things where if you're not doing that on a new part, if it's on a part that you run 50 times a day, and you've already test-proofed and proven the G-code and everything, then yeah, but a brand new part, I do new parts 3 or 4 times a day. Prototype parts for whatever, 3 or 4 times a day, and if I'm not prototyping the prototype G-code on something else, then I'm a fool, because I'm going to break something or ruin something. Oh, hell, hold on.
I think the dogs just came in the house.
So Tyler posted some pictures of his new table, and they look pretty good, Tyler. I will challenge everybody, if you take a look at the first picture, the picture where you see the bench and all of the stuff in his garage, to tell me how many hobbies Tyler has, because there are clues to all of his hobbies in that picture. I think I count 7.
Well, I know he flies. He rides motorcycles. He does woodwork.
Nice quad.
He flies. He flies quad helicopters.
Yep.
So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he runs.
He fixes bikes too.
Yeah. Well, he runs RC autos.
Yep.
There's more than just what's in the picture.
Yeah. The picture isn't all of them, but it's a good.
He works on computers. He works on computers, because I can see like 1, 2, 3 or 4 computers sitting over there on the.
Those are all support equipment for his other hobbies.
One's the server, one's for the CNC, and one's my parents' computer I'm fixing for him.
The other clue is the coax cable that's on the wall there for amateur radio.
Yeah, there's coax. I just don't have it set up.
Well, it looks like some Cat 5 too. That yellow one, or is that just an extension cord?
That one's an extension cord, but there is a bunch of Cat 6 and Cat 5 laying around here.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I first started in IT, that could have been 10-base-2 thick coax that you would have tapped with the tap tool.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the table looks great, Tyler. It looks heavy too.
Oh, it's quite heavy, but it doesn't move at all.
Well, that'll be perfect.
That'll work.
So you're just going to put the computer underneath and then maybe a monitor on top, or what's your thought?
Yeah, that was my plan. And then the control board and everything underneath. I'm thinking of maybe putting up a slight shield between it for debris flying at the computer and whatnot, and then it'll be more of a workbench / computer, and then the CNC will be on the other side. I
would encourage you to have some sort of a drawer for the keyboard. You know, underneath there somehow.
My other thought is the VGA cable that I got laying back here is like 15 feet long, so I might just keep the monitor and everything in that cabinet, and then just run the computer from in there.
Yeah, that'll work.
And you made the table big enough that you can go to upgrade to a 500 by 1000 if you need to. You won't be able to go to a 1000 by 1800, but you know
tables are easy to build.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If I want to go bigger, I'll just add a piece onto the edge if I need to. But I had it small enough so I could fit the boat in here next summer.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you got a boat.
Yeah, it takes up the whole garage, so stuff's got to be tiny.
What kind of a boat is it?
16-foot John boat with
John boat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with a steering console and a 25 Yamaha on the back.
Ah. Yeah.
And and an electronic setup that cost almost as much as the boat.
Wow. Oh, fish finder and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got the nice Lowrance complete setup.
Wow.
My dad had a 19-foot outboard when I was a kid, and then he bought a 23-foot Tollycraft once I moved out of the house.
So, what is the current state of build on your X-carve there, Tyler?
Pretty much just need to wire it.
Yeah, it looks mechanically like it's there.
It's all there. It just needs to be all calibrated, but I need to finish running all the wires. And I had to have the table first, otherwise wires were going to get thrown everywhere, so I kind of shifted and went to building the table.
No, that works, yeah. Looks nice.
Yeah.
But I found out that my computer for it does not like to boot from the Linux DVD. You have to use a thumb drive.
Oh, well, that's actually a little quicker anyway, but that's odd. Because
like the server that I have in here, I could not use a thumb drive. I had to use a DVD. So this computer is exactly the opposite.
Oh, well.
So you've already got Linux CNC installed on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And I should have all the hardware and whatnot, so I pretty much just need to hook it up now. Which was the plan for tonight and tomorrow morning.
Till we interrupted you.
Yeah. Well, if you had a camera set up, you could be working while you're talking. See?
Well, I'm just yelling across the garage.
Well, that's cool, Tyler. I'm glad you got things going. That is cool. I don't know if you saw the links in the main chat for the upgraded Z-axis for the X-carve that Eves is working on. It should, with some extra end plates that give you a little taller reach, with this Z-axis, doing the AR-15s would be very realistic. Well, at least size-wise, anyway.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I figured once I get it going, then I'll probably dump too much money into upgrading it.
Lord knows.
Hey, welcome to my world.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
No kidding. I bought the 1000mm and I didn't have the thing a month, and I was like, I need to upgrade like this, and this. I'm like, crap. Oh,
hey, I just
whatever.
looked at the pictures and said I needed to upgrade this, and this. So, I didn't even have it.
I actually had my 500 running for a little while on Linux CNC, but it was quickly obvious that a lot of things needed to change. So.
My problem is space, because this isn't my own house.
Yeah, well, it'll work for you. That's plenty. That's enough for now.
Well, yeah. And there will be a day when you'll have your own space.
Yep.
Yeah, and then with that table, I'm planning to put some casters on the bottom of it, and then it's got a built-in power distribution unit to a 30 amp 110 volt locking plug, so it'll be mobile at some point.
There you go.
The only other thing I wanted to share was I came across I posted it to Google Plus as from our Google Plus page, but was this site? Where is it? There it is. I encourage you to look at the other projects this guy has done, but what he's done is taken some old power tools and converted them. This link that I just posted there he's converted an old Sears table saw into a 3D printer.
Say what?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And he's also done it as he's got the same sort of thing done as a laser cutter, a laser engraver, and they're just spectacular. I love the look. I love the design. It's awesome.
These are like PC case mods for maker stuff.
I know. Yeah, that's what it feels like, right?
Oh yeah, I love this kind of stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I could actually see that as a computer case.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a computer case would be cool too, you know.
As a pedestal just sitting next to the desk or something, that'd be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. That would be sweet.
But look at the other stuff. He's got some cool stuff there. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. He's a pretty detail-oriented guy the way he's working. I like, the work he did on the plexi for that is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I want to put that laser pointer that I got on it because I'm pretty sure that'll engrave wood all right.
Oh, nice. Never thought of that.
It definitely burns anything else it touches, so it should be good to go.
You just need a way to turn the switch on and off.
What's that?
Definitely do some master cut on it.
Yeah, I was gonna make a regulator that I can adjust it, that I'll hook to the power supply, and then I can turn it down so I could actually focus it, and then just crank it all the way up when I want to cut or burn.
God, you could actually probably do that from within Linux CNC. I'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure you could. A little Arduino circuit to control the power.
Oh, I'm sure I could. It would just be getting it hooked up.
Yeah.
It's one thing at a time for me because I'm going to need this for a school project later, so I just want to get it running first.
Get it running.
Yeah.
Won't be long and you'll have it running. Just spend, like Yves, I think, had mentioned to you, just spend a lot of time, getting it square, getting it aligned, and then Loctite is your friend.
Yeah. I actually took for the belts, I wrapped tape around them after I went through the connectors because they were not holding on the belt clips at the end.
Yeah, what a lot of us, well, at least what I've done is I used heat shrink tubing. I put the heat shrink tubing on first, and then the belt flips through that little plastic thing, and then I put the heat shrink over it, and then.
Yeah, I'm in the zip tie club.
Zip tie too.
Yep. But you got to do something, yeah.
Yeah, I just wrapped tape on it. That's all I had next to me.
Zip tie. Get some zip ties and zip them because the tape won't hold. Probably.
Well, the zip ties I could have put on, but they were across the garage, so they didn't make it on there.
Attaboy.
I'm in the custom end plate with tensioning units installed.
Yeah.
I posted a I see you shaking your head, Andrew. I see you shaking your head. Yeah, right.
Look, yeah, we don't all have a nice machine. Well, I'd love to have your machine shop.
We all have half of a fully functional machine shop in our garage. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
It's taken me a lot.
I wouldn't be
It's taken me
sorry.
a lot of years, a lot of money to acquire what I've got. So,
Yep. No, that's cool.
my wife gives me a bad time about it all the time.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll just come
Don't
over to
you,
your house
sweetheart.
and need something custom made.
Hmm? She wouldn't if she had a house. Yeah. Believe me, if I could, I'd build you a house.
Uh,
My shop is bigger than the house.
So we heard from Tyler. How about Tony? Tony, what's going on? I know you've been busy circuit boards, it sounds like.
Yeah, basically working on the housing, so basically the frame and then the electronics for that tail light. I just got a picture here. Let me post that. Throw that in the... That's the best way to do that. I guess throw it in the regular chat.
I think so, yeah. Because it'd be one thing if there was a way to save these comments for the video, you know, when it was up on Google Plus, but or on YouTube, but it doesn't.
So there's the basically the housing for the electronics, along with the electronics.
Oh yeah.
It looks awesome.
That is nice. Now, did you get all your quotes back from your
No.
Your people?
No, I've gotten 2 so far. One was the first plastic quote at Crazy Stupid, and then out of anodized aluminum was Half Crazy Stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I'm waiting on 2 more. But
ask the Crazy Stupid quote if there's anything that he can see with the design that could be changed to lower the machining time, and thereby lower your cost. You know, sometimes they can see things that we as designers, you know, don't see because we over-engineer everything.
Oh yeah, no, I've been there before. I definitely have to ask them that. The my normal plastic supplier actually is having a hard time quoting because his router's down, so he's shipping it off to somewhere else. I'm like, oh, well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey Tony, do these have a profile on the bottom for this specific vehicle, or are they just flat?
No, the vehicle that this goes on is just, that whole area is flat anyway.
It is, okay. I was wondering about that. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But there is a counter bore on the backside, isn't there?
Well, there's 4 counter bores for the screw heads. If you see the 4 outermost holes, those are 4 screws that come up from the bottom and thread into the lens, which goes on top of all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also see there's there's a groove that runs around the whole thing. That's for an O-ring to seal it.
Is there one on back too, or no?
No, just on the front.
Just on the front.
Basically, my plan was just to gob it up with silicone.
Huh. Yeah, that's looking awesome.
When in doubt, silicone's your friend. That's like super glue plus duct tape for anything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you got a bad seal? I got some silicone.
The other thing I want to do is, now that I can use CamBam, I want to go back and take a look at MeshCam again. I looked at MeshCam first, and then when Dave mentioned CamBam, I looked at that right away. But one thing that makes me want to go back to MeshCam is that it has the intelligence to automatically weld any sort of geometry you have, where in CamBam you have to explicitly say, okay, select all these entities and now weld them with this tolerance.
Yeah, join it. Yeah, make it a polyline.
Right. So I think in terms of just that, it's a pretty decent time saving. But we'll see what else is, you know, if there's anything that's worse or better from there.
Yeah, I looked at MeshCam and it just didn't fit me. You know, I never got a good handle on MeshCam, so you know, but
I like the price.
Yeah, price is good on that. Yep, for sure. Yep.
So now, would you prefer these in anodized aluminum or the plastic?
Honestly, whatever's cheaper. I think aluminum. There's a bezel that this guy sent me that those fit into, and the bezel is hogged out of a solid hunk of aluminum. It's, God, about 1.16 inches thick by 6 by 2 3/4. Like, just hogged out. So imagine if you did like a 2 1/8 by 5 3/8 pocket in this slab of aluminum. That's what his bezel is. It's ridiculous.
Have you got the bezel there in your hand?
I do.
Turn your
I was about
camera
to say,
on. Turn your
he would be
camera
better
on. Let's
He would
take a
be
look at
better
that
off
puppy.
casting that. He would be better off casting that profile and then machining away the excess and then doing a surface and stuff on there. That would come out a heck of a lot cheaper, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. But for some reason, well, and that's the other thing is that he's selling the bezel kit for like $149.
Yeah, because the materials cost him $100.
Right. Well, when I got back to him, okay, so this is a project for a magazine. They're doing a kit car build, and they wanted some custom taillights. And
Well, I'm thinking long-term production line.
no, absolutely.
Better off.
But he must know somebody, and so that's got a machine shop, so he just hogged these things out.
Sure.
And so I'll get a picture and then post it. I don't really have a camera set up, but it's like
You
I
do
said,
know that having a camera is a prerequisite for being a member of this group.
He's got a camera. He's qualified.
I do have a camera, but it's a Nikon, so.
No,
that's the right camera to have, though. You know.
Well, all right. You need a webcam.
Yes, I do.
To be a member of this group.
I will remove myself immediately. But I'll post a link, or actually I'll post it in the chat. I'm uploading now, so. But it's ridiculous why they did that. But the funny thing is, like I said before, the price of that housing in aluminum was half of the first quote I got in PVC foam. It's ridiculous. So
that's probably because the machining center that they were going to machine it in aluminum, they could set it up to do high-speed machining and spit it out in no time at all.
Yeah. All right, so here I'm dropping in a picture of the bottom of the bezel, and now I'm going to drop it in a picture of the top. So, lots of chips going in the garbage.
Yeah.
All right. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Wow.
And then when I figured out all my pricing, of course, I'm doing this gratis for him because he's going to publish it in 3 magazines. But, hopefully there'll be people interested. But there's taillights for this car out there right now at $149, and when I rolled even my best pricing so far together, I'm at $489. So I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I've already done one set of $400 taillights, and I've only sold 15 sets. But it's better than one.
Yeah, better than one.
Yeah.
So who made that block?
Whoever this guy is. He works at a publishing company.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, in the second picture with it down, that fits over the top of the piece that we the white piece.
Exactly.
And everything.
Exactly. And then there's a lens that goes in between those two, so it's like a 1/4 inch polycarbonate.
Well, there's
clear.
There's no real reason for that bezel to be that tall, is there?
No, most of that white thing is just filling up space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Bazelle could just that's
Unless there's some sort of aesthetic reason for it to be
Yeah.
that thick.
No, exactly.
Other than this guy's machine shop that he had just had a 1.5-inch slab of aluminum scrap laying around that they were just going to throw away. So, hey,
Well, I think-
cut me out some tail.
God, if a guy was set up
Yeah.
for casting aluminum, that would be an easy
Oh
cast.
yeah. Oh
That'd
yeah.
be an easy cast. And clean it up in a mill, and that'd be all you'd need.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so what Dave was saying though, it definitely doesn't have to be that thick. What's nice about it being that thick though, is that if you look at the picture of the housing with the electronics installed, it might be pretty hard to see, but around each group of 7 LED buckets, as I call them, there's actually 30,000. There's like a 30,000 gap that runs around each one, into which I stuff side-firing LEDs into.
I saw that.
And that is creating like a halo or angel eyes. So
That's pretty cool.
when you look at the taillights, you see 2 circles of red light. And the massive depth of that bezel allows me to pull those LEDs back further and help diffuse the dots.
Okay. Well.
So is that are those side firing LEDs just like a strip light, or is that an actual halo light?
No, it's a strip light.
Oh, nice. I need to get your supplier for some side firing LEDs. I had the damnedest time finding those things.
These ones are the first ones I found that are on a stupid tight pitch, but they suck so much power it's ridiculous. When I fire up both of those LEDs, it's about a half an amp.
Yeah, I'm looking for 12 volt low amps though.
Yeah, well, this is 12 volts, but crazy amperage.
Super
But
bright, though.
that's because they're very bright and they're very dense.
I don't necessarily need them like ridiculously bright. This would be for like inside of computer cases for edge lighting and stuff like that. So I don't need anything that like can be seen from 3 miles away.
Yeah, well, in that case, just use standard, the standard LED strips.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Yeah, I'd like to get some side fired ones for some lighting projects, but
Sure.
I don't need anything with crazy requirements.
Yeah, but
Okay.
don't these people that are building these cars have ridiculous amounts of money so they can afford to spend $400 on a tail light?
That's a great point, sir. Yes, they do.
So, and sometimes those car enthusiasts, they look at a tail light or a component that costs $150 and say, oh, that thing's got to be cheap and not worth anything. And
Oh yeah.
Then you hand them the same exact light or piece, but you put a $450 price tag on it, and now that's a good piece of equipment.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can really
Oh, yeah.
use that on my car.
Well, especially with the heft of that bezel too, boy. It's like, oh yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tony, do you know a guy, the CEO of Oracle, Larry Ellison? You've heard the name?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Have you seen his Cobra?
No, did I let it slip that this was for a Cobra?
You've sent pictures before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just posted another link. So Larry Ellison has a Cobra that is basically even the chassis is made from billeted aluminum.
Oh my God.
Sweet.
It is, the whole car is billeted aluminum. It is. I just put the link there. It's Kirkham Motorsports that did it, and it was basically a cost no object roadster.
Wow.
And it is, if you get some time to go through the pictures, it's complete and utter CNC/car porn of the highest caliber.
Is there a link for more pictures?
Polished aluminum body panel.
It is well. Yeah, so they actually offer a book, and I think the book is $500. Um, and you can look at pages of it anyway. Some of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
My God.
See, porn. I told you. So here's the company that did it, Kirkham Motorsports, and that's the book they sell for the car. But you can look at the chapters of it online for free.
Oh, nice.
Is
But
that
it's,
on that Islander CONZ? Is that where the book is?
No, the book is the kirkhammotorsports.com/book_AOE. It's the last link I just posted. It's on this chat window, not in the. It's in our live chat window, not in the main chat.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
live
it's.
chat.
So I'm guessing that's probably not a chrome wrap.
Oh, it's just. It would have been an awesome project to be involved with, just to say that you did something like that. But yeah, it's unbelievable. I wonder what the car drive. Yeah, that chassis is just unbelievable. Yeah, that's got to be all 5-axis machines.
Holy crap!
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not only did they CNC it, but they used 1,000 bolts to put it together. Holy!
Yeah.
Wow.
Even
Oh my God! I just saw a picture of like the firewall or something, and it's all like pocketed triangular. Geez.
Yeah,
Oh,
just the firewall. Yeah. Wait till you get to the exhaust system.
I'm scared to look at the exhaust system.
Or the body, the aluminum body. It's just it's unbelievable, unbelievable. Yeah, and he probably never drives the car. The car probably never leaves.
Oh yeah, it sits in a garage on a silver platter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have that sort of silly money, wouldn't it?
Heck, I'd be happy just to be able to have the shop that could make that.
Hey, did you see where some gal over there on the East Coast somewhere just walked away with $310 million for Powerball last drawing? She took the cash and came away with $140 million.
Wow.
Yeah, after taxes. The gift tax is strong with this country.
Yeah, you cut 50% off for taxes, and at that price you're still done for life. Well,
I figured it out. If she puts it in good investments where she's making 10% on her investments.
Not a bowling alley.
No, not a bowling alley. That's $14 million a year that she'd get on her investment if she could get a 10% return. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that was just simple interest, not compound. Oh, I got to look at the suspension. I bet you that's something.
The suspension is awesome, but the body is my favorite. The aluminum body it's just the body work like that on this scale to me is just that is a lot. It's a lost art because it's all done by hand.
Oh yeah. There was a company that was across the parking lot from my day job a long time ago, and one of the things that they did was do electric conversions for vehicles. But for some reason, they also did race cars. And they had guys that could fabricate body panels by hand.
Oh.
They had English wheels and all that stuff in there. It was insane.
Oh, yeah.
I could watch somebody on an English wheel for hours. So there might be drool coming out of my mouth at the end, but it's just such a cool tool.
I've got a friend that just up the road from me that rebuilds old vehicles, and he's a master with sheet metal. He can take a piece of sheet metal and put it to shape and you know, cut out the old rusted portion and put that new piece in, and you'd never ever know that it was replaced. Of course, he's also 81 years old and been doing it for God only knows how long.
Yeah.
Jesus. I want one. I wonder how much they'd sell me one for.
Oh yeah, they're stupid.
Wait, I don't have that much money.
If you go to their main page and look at some of their other work, their 289 coupe is sick.
Yeah.
They've got just some, yeah.
Oh well.
Yep. I'm gonna take us off live, guys. We're about a half hour over, and we can. If you guys want to split, you can split. I'll hang on for a little bit, but thanks for coming. And we didn't have any viewers this time, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go ahead and split. My family's back, and I'm in the living room, and it's getting very noisy, and we often spiral into the distance after about an hour and a half. So I'll keep up with group chat, and I will video hang out with you guys next time.
All right. Take care, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, take her in, man.